Hey, you! Listening to this podcast right now! Do you want to hear a fucking podcast about anything and everything? Yeah. Like movies, music, television, and more?
Oh my god.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Yes.
Subscribe to Journey into Comics Network, and you get Podcastrophe, hosted by me,
Yes.
Dick. Why not throw a couple bucks to the Patreon? It's your choice. Yeah. This is a Podcastrophe.
That sounds so awesome.
The following
Journey into Comics.
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 Network Production.
This is a tasty burger.
You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
Is butter a carb? Will you stop eating?
We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups. Candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Foodies Watching Movies. This is Season 3, Episode 4. I am your host, Nate, and today joining me, as always, the co-founder of Foodies Watching Movies. You know her, you love her, she's funny and great. Welcome back, Veronica. How's it going?
It's going. How's it going with you, Nate?
Good. I'm trying to perk y'all up
You're
and
like
bring it to life.
The hype man.
Fucking A, am I the hype man? That's what's up. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm battling some acid reflux indigestion right now from this dinner that we had.
Got the food blues?
I've got the foodie blues, the moody foodie blues.
Whoa.
Yeah, it just kept going. Yeah, I don't know. We had KFC for dinner, and it's just sitting really heavy, and I feel like I keep wanting to throw up a little bit.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I ate way too much of that sadness bowl.
And you had the those hot wings barbecue sauce. That's where the acid reflux is coming from.
That's what's getting me, guys. I
need
don't
some Tums.
typically.
Did you go get some Tums?
Fuck.
They're
now
right
we're
there.
cooking with gas.
Right there.
I'm gonna
Go get
the
some Tums.
BRB.
Also joining us today, you've heard her lovely voice. You guys also know her and love her from GallifRadio. Welcome back to the podcast for, I'm pretty sure, every fucking episode this season.
Yeah, it's
Sara,
been a
how's it
thing.
going?
I don't know. It's been a long day. We did a lot of stuff today.
It's been a very busy day. There have been podcasts and interviews and videos recorded, and
I lived like 3 lives today.
and you taught lessons this morning. Holy hell!
Yeah, I did that.
Busy.
It's been a lot of things.
I'm back. I got my Tums.
You know, while there have been a lot of things we've been busy doing, I will say we've been doing a lot of good eating.
Word.
And,
I feel like we should reach
what?
out to Tums and be like, "Hey, you want to sponsor our podcast?
That was a real
We will
life.
shout you
Tum.
out."
Yeah, that was a real life.
Tum.
Word.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, that was not brought to you by Tums.
Intense.
So while we've been eating a lot of good food, there's a lot of different places we could start. There have been some sandwiches we've had.
I think we need to start with our home cooking.
Okay. However, though, I almost want to start at a very special home-cooked dinner we got to participate in last Monday for Ollie's birthday at your dad's house.
Oh,
Because that dinner was off the chain. That mash, that cauliflower
Oh, yeah,
mash.
you've been talking about that mash.
God.
I have fucking dreams about that mash. I'm not even kidding. That's not a joke.
I'll let my stepmom know.
I just want to
please.
taste it. Like,
Yeah.
Every time I see a post from Rose, I just want to hashtag that mash, but I don't want her to be confused. Like I'm doing something weird or like being creepy or some weird shit. So like it's just on my mind. I'm being
All
so
right,
genuine.
I'll get the recipe and make you the
Oh
cauliflower
my
mash.
god, it was so good.
It was just
really
garlic
was.
cauliflower mash.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
your dad, they had that roast.
great.
Ooh, the
though.
roast is good. I love
Yeah.
this roast recipe. It's the recipe that I make because I loved her recipe so much. And it's like a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing, a packet of brown gravy mix, like the dry shit, a packet of Italian dressing mix, and then you put that in your slow cooker with your roast and, salt and pepper to taste. And oh my God, it's so good. It just falls apart, and it's seasoned so well.
God, and then they also, another thing that was really interesting, the food choices that were made, and I referenced this at the dinner, just brought me back to home cooking from my grandma. Even though it wasn't necessarily like a direct meal she had ever cooked, she always made that kind of steamed broccoli thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
And she would always have some sort of cauliflower on the side. Yeah. She would always have a roast of some sort. I love roast. It just took me back to the heart of my childhood, and it was truly. Are you okay? It was truly amazing, and it was a really cool experience to have.
Nice. It's nice to have a home cooked meal.
Totally.
Every once in a while that you don't have to make yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was Oliver's 5th birthday, and we had a yummy cake, and he had 3 or 4 little birthday parties,
Man,
being a
he
child
was
of
the
divorce
ultimate.
these days.
He was the ultimate warrior of birthday parties and all that, because he had one every day.
He did really good. He was a trooper through these birthdays, and had a great time, and was a good boy.
I did remark to you that he, how did I say it? Oh, damn it. I lost my train of thought. How did I said it to you earlier. It was really fucking good.
I don't know. We said a lot of things
it was
today.
just crazy because he had friends over every day this week.
Almost every day.
Almost every day, and it was just
Yeah, and it was the first time he had friends come over that weren't just the neighbor kids. He had some play dates, and they all went really well, and I was super pleased. So yeah, that was a nice dinner.
Yeah, it was super good.
We had a lot of other good dinners in the past week or two.
I replicated one twice. Should we start there, or should we talk about that steak?
No, we can talk about the chicken.
Okay, I got to get my pen and pad out because I need to write this
Nate
down
came up
for
with
everybody.
this very delicious chicken sandwich recipe that we're going to try to remember to post online.
That's why I'm writing it down right now.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm
good call. Okay, so Nate, walk us through your chicken dish. It was delicious.
Sure. So this is a good crock pot dish. I want to mention that. This is something that you start your early afternoon before you go to work, whenever, depending on when you hear the time cycle, you'll know when you should try to start this based on your day and your schedule. So you'll get your crock pot out. You're going to put about 1.5 cups of water. So I'm going to write down that 1.5 cups water. Oh, I did it. Yeah, it's true. It's real. Okay. Then I put 3 chicken breasts, which was probably, I would say somewhere close to 1.5 pounds of chicken. Right about, pound and a half, somewhere around there. Then what you do is you're going to go fucking crazy. And I mean that. Now, some people are like, listen, I'm trying to be for real right now. Some people are like 3 twists of the little cracked pepper, and ooh, that's enough pepper. I did 45, and that's not a fucking joke. I literally did.
Maybe you just need to get a bottle or a can of regular pepper. So you don't have to be twisting a pepper grinder 45 times to get the desired amount of pepper.
It tastes better.
I got lots of pepper. Yeah. Okay, is what the point is. It's a lot of pepper. I'm talking.
So a shit ton of pepper.
A shit ton of pepper. Okay, and here's the thing too.
Write that down in your recipe.
Write that down. Shit ton.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Shit.
Write that down.
Ton. You're going to actually use the shit ton metric for the next 3 things in the recipe, because you're also going to get garlic salt, and I like the garlic sea salt grinder. It's really good. It really has an extra great flavor. So you're going to write that down, or I'm going to write that down. Oops, I fucked that up.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Do you need a secretary? Do I need to be secretary?
Secretarial.
I do have the glasses for it. And the years of actual secretarial experience in the real world.
And then just regular sea salt. Or you could use Himalayan sea salt here. That's a preference. The taste.
I like the idea of doing Himalayan sea salt with a roast because, the darker the meat, the more I want to taste the salt.
Well, guess what? Here's the secret. It's not typical meat. It's chicken, right? So.
Right. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about the other thing that we made. My bad.
No, it's okay. Don't you worry.
So many things to think about.
I got you. We got this on lock. So right now you've got your seasonings in there, okay? Ooh, pop filter. That's a shout out to you, Dick. you're going to let that cook for like 2 or 3 hours on your low heat and just let it do its thing. Now, when you come back to it, you're going to drain the water. That's an important step. Once you've drained the water, you're going to shred the chicken. That's an important second step. Now, here's the third step. It's a secret step, but you're going to add about 4 tablespoons. I can't. There you go. Tablespoons of butter. Right after you shred it.
You put butter in it too?
Fucking A, right. You put butter in it because it makes it extra tender. It tenderizes your chicken.
Does it?
Oh, fuck
okay.
yeah.
It doesn't
You
sound
better
right
believe.
To me, but
You
it
sounds
good,
like something
so.
Paula Deen would endorse.
She goddamn probably taught it everything I knew, almost, except for I didn't do racism like she did. But
Well,
it's beside the
she'll
point.
tell you everything you knew about butter.
Butter. There you go. And
how to
nothing
put
about
it in
racism.
Everything. Okay, so you put in 4 tablespoons of butter.
After you've shredded it, correct.
Okay.
It was like it was desired butter based on your chicken. You can variable that. That's just the personal preference I went for. You could do 3.
I like butter on chicken. That's fine. Okay.
It really does tenderize
I'll allow
it.
it.
Okay, good.
Write that down.
So once that butter is melted into all that chicken, now here's the important step. This is what you're going to have to do. Go to the store. Make sure you buy it because it's new, and I don't know how long it's going to be in stores. I almost want to stock up on it.
I know. We need to fucking find all the bottles of this sauce.
Oh, yeah.
The sauce is boss.
Baby Ray's
motherfucking maple
has come up with this maple. Okay, I just want to tell you guys that I just signed the Sweet Baby Ray's, and when I wrote Ray's, it kind of looks like their logo. Like
Sweet.
if you pulled out the fucking sauce, you'd be like, "What the shit? That's creepy." But there's this maple barbecue sauce, right? Maple barbecue sauce.
Right.
Now, what you're going to do with that bottle, you're going to take the whole bottle, and you're going to use like 3/4 of it. Genuinely.
Nate uses that much.
Well, you
He
need it
uses
to,
so much sauce.
It's for flavor. You have to have the flavor there. Because listen, you already
I'm not
put...
arguing. It was delicious.
Right. But you already put all that pepper, all the garlic salt, all the regular sea salt there. So all that is tender and in the meat. So the meat itself doesn't have just a base chicken flavor. So when you're eating this, you're never going to go, it's just bland-ass chicken. I'm not enjoying this. Sure. The whole point of this is to get through the entire bite and be in complete bliss. You almost want to be fooled to thinking you're eating like a pulled pork.
Right.
That's really... I wanted to make sure I was recording, by the way, because I was like, oh, fuck, did I even hit record? Sometimes that happens.
Oh, no.
But... yeah, we've been going for 12 minutes. It's great. We're doing good.
Great.
So,
you did it.
Yay. Hooray. So, you're going to now take the maple barbecue, put it in there, and start stirring it up. Now, you do the stir there. That's good. Now, if you have the option, this is a bonus option. I want to put that. This is your bonus ingredient. Okay? And I'm going to get better at this, you guys. I'm going to, try to get better at this. But the bonus ingredient is if you have access to any kind of authentic maple syrup, whether it's organic from Whole Foods, whether it's from Vermont, like what we got to use.
Hell yeah.
I
We
chose
got that good syrup.
I chose
Becky with the good syrup.
Oh, Becky with the good syrup, girl. You know what is up. Okay, so I chose the delicate maple flavor because all the other flavors, yes, I did.
Interesting.
And I bet you didn't even notice.
I didn't.
Exactly. And that is exactly. I want it to be subtle, and I genuinely think that
to be
part.
fair, the light syrup was the one on bottle that they were told when they bought this syrup for me that it was the least popular. It was used for very few things, and it was only typically used on like desserts. But I can't remember.
Yeah, the delicate one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to
I
be
really
a really
liked
light.
the dark amber one.
It's almost gone.
Especially on the strawberry pound cake we've been having.
Yeah,
had been having.
It was gone.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want pound cake.
Dude, I know. I want
ice cream.
Pound cake.
We'll get to that in a minute.
We have ice cream.
So that's only part of this whole
We've been having
entire
Sundays.
sandwich, though. Because now
the
that you got
sandwich.
your chicken base, now we have to finish assembling. The second half of it, you're going to get out your skillet or get out a griddle, something that's flat. Frying utensil. Don't go and use your fucking toaster. That's lazy, folks. It doesn't give you the desired effect, and it's not going to taste as good. My humble opinion, just saying. Doesn't matter. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your pan nice and warm, not overly hot. You don't want it burning. You don't want your pan to start smoking or anything like that. But you want to get it to the point where you can nicely coat it with butter. Once it's nicely coated with butter, I do a diagonal pattern with my bread. One on this side, on the left, one on the bottom, on the right. They toast. I flip.
Really complicated for a pulled pork
not.
sandwich.
You just toast both sides of the bread.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
I'm just explaining how I do it
painting a little
because
picture.
I make them diagonal and then do a reverse flip, and there's a reason for that because it's the way I organize and know that things are done in the order they're done. Because the next step is cheese because it's on this side. So cheese, you pick what cheese you want. Doesn't matter. It could be Havarti. It could be Parmesan. We used a Havarti this time, and it was good. The time before that, I think we used Colby Jack. Or something.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. We haven't been getting Colby Jack for a while.
Like Munster or something like that.
Was it that double Munster? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was a mix between Munster and something else.
Cheddar, maybe?
Yeah, it was a cheddar Munster mix. Some weird double pairing.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, but I remember there being cheddar in it. So I was like, oh yeah, that's delicious.
But it wasn't Colby Jack. I'm certain of that.
Yeah, we haven't been getting that.
It didn't have that weird rubbery texture.
Right, that oily thing instead of the melty thing that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would do the Havarti on that sandwich again. I would pick maybe something like a cheddar.
I would want like, I think it would be good with Swiss cheese.
Yeah, it would be really good with Swiss.
I would almost do a Swiss provolone mix if you're going to do a Swiss.
I love provolone.
I do too. It's
a
really
great
like
blending
Swiss
cheese, like baby Swiss cheese especially.
Oh yeah,
that's really good,
and it melts well.
Yeah.
So I want to mention that when you put the cheese on the one side of the bread, your toasting is not going to take that long because your pan's already pretty warm. So it's only going to take like 30 seconds tops. So have your plate ready. You're going to pull your breads off and immediately put your pulled pork on top of the cheese that is melting.
Chicken.
The pulled chicken. I meant to say pulled chicken. It fools me because it tastes like pulled pork. It has that full effect of pulled pork, but it's a chicken dish instead. So literally, you just put the pulled chicken directly onto that. Mm-hmm. You put your sandwich together, cut that sumbitch in half, and call it a day. I mean, that is it.
It was fucking delicious. It tasted like I was eating a French toast barbecue sandwich, like the best kind of chicken and waffle effect.
Yeah, and like I said, I've tried this recipe twice now, and I think it was consistent.
It worked. Yeah, it worked both different times. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy with it.
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was good, and it was. I forgot that I wasn't eating pulled pork. You know, I liked the pulled chicken.
Mm-hmm.
and typically, like I was saying, the anytime that the chicken has the chickeny flavor, I know that's a weird way to describe it.
Sarah has issues with chicken.
I do have issues.
You have the weird... Can we talk about that? Can we just bring this shit up on the podcast? It's a great food thing. You are the only human being on earth. You could literally get... let me fucking just say it. No interruptions here. You could literally go to McDonald's and order 100 chicken McNuggets. Okay? Listen to me.
McNuggets.
You could pick one singular nugget out of those 100, and you would get gristle in that bad enough that you would have to spit it out, meaning it's hard and unchewable.
Yeah.
What the fucking fuck?
I don't know, and it's always the chicken breasts that have like the really veiny parts,
or
the
like fat.
The really like tendony, sinewy, like chickeny thing. I can't deal with it. I was a vegetarian for several years,
and for a
while there, all through college. I don't know. Yeah, that's so I just get weird issues with meat sometimes. It can't be meat. It can't taste like it sometimes. Sometimes, depends on what it is. I mean, if I'm eating a steak, I'm eating steak. I mean, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking piece of meat.
But, and if I'm eating fried chicken, I mean, there's bones. It's right there. But fried chicken, usually the skin and the fat and all that, takes care of the chickeny thing.
Right.
You know? I can't deal with that.
Like rotisserie baked chicken or something that has that chickeny flavor.
Yeah, that tastes like you're smelling like you're in the meat shop.
Oh, it's the worst.
That boiled chicken smell.
Oh God, it's so off-putting to me.
You would hate my job as a prep cook. I make a fuck ton of chicken salad.
Yeah,
and it's I mean it's delicious, but it is it's a really gross process.
Your little cafe is adorable.
Yeah,
but that's
anyways. It is.
I just wanted to say
I do like being back in the restaurant industry. It's been a while, and I'm a food, like I do prep and catering and stuff. And it's fun. I really like it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
V, I'm going to pass the paper over to you now because you made us something delicious on the flip, and I'm going to explain part of this.
I have to write shit down now?
Well, if you want. You don't have to if you can remember. Whatever. Anyways.
All right. I'm a good sport.
Okay, cool. So let me preface this by saying that the night prior to this amazing steak sandwich...
Oh, fuck yeah, that steak.
That's exactly what where we're getting to. But I have to preface this by saying the night before that, I went on a bender. Yeah.
It's a nice pen.
No, it's a Prisma.
This is a real nice pen. I just had to take a second. I was like, ooh, okay, now I don't mind
that's one of the ones from my other set, not one of your Prismas.
I don't know.
Right?
You're just using what you handed me.
I don't know what it is.
That's one of the ones from that.
I don't write with pens.
Ooh, I really like it.
Okay. So back to it. On track now. So, before we had the steak sandwich that we're about to discuss, I went on a bender and started fucking frying everything under the sun.
Oh my god, those onion rings.
So I did fried chicken, and then it got brought to my attention that we should just fucking go down and do some fried onion rings.
Well, we had this giant white onion, and we're like, what kind of side should we have? And I didn't want to make mashed potatoes, so we made Nate make us the most amazing onion rings of my life.
Yeah,
so
my God.
Some of those same seasonings I used on the prior ingredients list. Your garlic sea salt, your regular sea salt, your pepper. It's the same kind of deal, but to a lesser extent for the actual making of your batter. You take your Kentucky Colonel's batter that you get at the store.
Oh my God, that stuff is the best seasoning if you want to do fried shit.
And then
Kentucky's seasoning, whatever.
To my own personal touch, and that's to you too as a chef. If you're into cooking and you want to try this, you know where your levels of salt and pepper enjoyment are. So use what you typically use. Add that to your batter to really perk it up just a little bit more. It's really going to give it some extra life. You're going to take your onion rings. You're going to actually, before you do anything else, dip them in the batter. Then
in the flour.
In the flour.
The flour seasoning.
Once all the onion rings are done, do it in the egg wash. Put it back into the flour.
Do a double dredge.
And then you're going to go into your deep fry. And that's where you're going to just let it do its thing. Now, you're going to know when these onion rings are ready because they're going to rise, they're going to crisp, they're going to have an almost golden brown color. Pull them when they're a little bit just before golden brown because they're still going to cook once they come out of the
they're
oil.
still going to be hot.
So they're going to have a little bit of time.
I like mine crispy, though.
Which is also true, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you like them a little crispy, leave them a little longer.
That breading is so good on the onion rings. It tasted like those French fried onions you get on, Thanksgiving on green bean casserole.
Correct.
Yeah, and the
but
onions,
only, creamier. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they weren't stringy.
Yeah, they were caramelized onions inside this crunchy batter. It was so good.
Yeah. You're welcome, I guess.
They were great.
I was actually impressed because it was my first attempt at an onion ring.
Well, these onion rings were so freaking good that I decided that I wanted to put them as the star of a steak sandwich.
Oh yeah.
So we found this. I can't remember the name of this kind of bread, but it's the kind of bread that you use to make tortas. You know. But
they look like lips, like a shape.
Yeah.
Focaccia.
No, it's not focaccia. No, it was
it's a sandwich bread.
Yeah, it was super soft, like white bread. Oh my god,
like a sandwich roll, but it's super soft.
Yeah, you use them to make Mexican sandwiches, like tortas.
Similar to brioche, but not as heavy.
Right, and it wasn't real eggy or anything like brioche can be. But yeah, this bread was so good, and we put, what did I do? Oh yeah, I buttered it and then I toasted it in the oven. They were like, oh, I can't stop thinking about this bread.
Like the best.
Yeah, and then we did a very Twin Peaks thing and had butter and brie on these baguettes, but they weren't little baguettes, you know. And I put steak on them, and then the onion rings, and cheese. Did we put? I put a triple cheddar cheese on them.
Yeah, you melted it in the
with
oven.
the butter and the brie. Oh my god, it was just like the most incredible decadent steak sandwich. Yeah,
and the steak was really flavorful.
Thanks. Yeah, What kind of steak did it? Oh yeah, because we had sandwich steaks that we got.
Ones. We cooked in the skillet.
Yeah, I fried them up in the skillet just with salt, pepper, and garlic salt.
I tried, based on what you guys were saying, to find Google the mystery bread. It did not happen. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we'll find it again. We know where to find it. Walmart.
Sure.
It was at Walmart.
Ew, don't shout them out.
I know, but that bread was so good.
God, it was good.
It was amazing. Yeah. So, continue back on the sandwich.
That was the sandwich. I said the whole thing. Okay. You weren't listening.
Oh, that's right. I was looking for your bread.
Oh, that's right.
You confirmed. Confirmed.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You heard it here.
He really doesn't listen. No, it's okay. Okay, I don't feel like writing it down right now. I will later, because I just kind of gave everybody the Cliff's Notes, and that's really all you need, because it's just a fucking sandwich.
Correct.
So here's your shit back.
I feel you.
I love that pen. I'm definitely going to need to write notes on that in the future. It's the library.
She just wrote that steak, though.
That's going to be the name of my recipe. That steak, though, part 2.
Okay, so back at it.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what. Oh, okay. Hold on. We can't forget that steak, though. You had the steak, the onion rings on it, and everything. But I deep fried other stuff. We deep fried them green beans that night.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fresh green.
And you made the most decadent mashed potatoes. They were so good.
Yeah,
I loved it.
If there's anything I know how to do, it's how to make really delicious mashed potatoes. Because so Thanksgiving is like my second favorite holiday, and it's the one thing that I can commit to doing every year is making really good mashed potatoes and corn casserole.
And it's almost here.
I know. It's like, it's like my Super Bowl.
The next time people hear us on Foodies, we will be just shy of a week removed from Thanksgiving, and we will have just experienced several in a row. There.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about, and there's a couple Thanksgiving movies that I want to talk about on that episode.
Yeah. What's for dinner?
What's cooking?
What's cooking?
What's cooking is a movie I watch every Thanksgiving season.
We're gonna watch it this year, I promise.
I'm gonna make you guys watch it because I fucking love it. It's so good. You'll like it.
Great.
So, have we had any other good foods or interesting foods? Have we made the chicken tonight?
I think that was it.
That's kind of been it.
I mean, we've just kind of been doing sandwiches like that. We've been having a lot of sandwiches. I've been eating a lot of cereal.
And a lot of pizza.
Oh, man, there was so much pizza because it was Ollie's birthday, so we just chowed so much pizza.
Yeah,
we had pizza today, actually.
Yeah, I've been on the pizza train.
Yeah. I had my favorite pizza again today, House of Pizza.
Pizza Shrapnel?
And it was so good.
Yeah,
it was really good today. It's not typically as good as it could be on Sundays, but I don't know why. But today it was on point. Very, very good. But yeah, I don't know. I think that was about all the delicious food we've been making.
Okay, so we've talked about all of our delicious, tasty, nummy sandwiches. Let's get into some films, I would say, yeah? There's several we can talk about. Where do you guys want to start?
I don't know.
Well, we watched a really interesting movie today.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, this movie was so bad that it was actually really cool. And I kind of dug it. And I really want to watch it again with Sara because she didn't get to see all of it.
Yeah.
She saw bits and pieces of it the other day, and then Nate and I watched it today. And it was 1994 unreleased Marvel's The Fantastic Four.
Okay, so here's some backstory to it. I covered this on Journey into Comics this past Monday, which I actually already recorded. That's so cool that happened, so I already know what I did. It's great.
Wow.
But interesting to note that Marvel bought all versions of that movie and made sure they were never released. One singular dude made a copy of it as a bootleg and hid it. Just probably for his own personal use, to just watch this movie that was going to come out that ended up not coming out.
That's crazy.
And then now he has this relic.
In 1994.
It does not hit the internet until last year, towards the end of last year in 2017. So we watched it on YouTube. And as I said on the podcast, it was so bad it was not that bad.
Nate totally loved it.
I did. I really did.
Dug it. I was watching him watch this movie. It was so funny. It was like watching a kid watch Power Rangers.
It had that aesthetic.
It was so
really
endearing.
did. Yeah.
It was so endearing, and I loved it. They tried so hard, and for what they were given,
they tried really hard.
They turned chicken
for what
shit
they did.
into chicken salad. Let me tell you, Brock
Thanks for
Lesnar
that,
reference.
Brock Lesnar.
Boo.
Brock.
And that's a food reference too. That's great. So it's a double win.
I don't want to think about food and Brock Lesnar.
Ew.
I just don't want to do it.
Ew. Ew.
Sorry, Brock Lesnar.
Sorry.
Sorry, I won't do his music anymore.
Yeah, no more wrestling.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about this Fantastic Four movie about? I mean, there's a lot of things we could kind of get into. Sarah, you saw some of it. What did you think of what you saw and heard?
Oh, well, I mean, it looked like they went for the comic book feel. I mean, it was very B-movie-esque.
It was so 1994.
It was. But you know what I'm going to talk about.
Of course, I'm ready. They
you
set
know
this
what
up.
it is.
It was the first thing I said to Nate when this movie came on. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Somebody made a variation of the Jurassic Park theme because that's
for
what
this movie's
this
score.
Movie's score is. It sounds exactly like Jurassic Park. It's crazy.
A variation of it. It also sounded like Twin Peaks at times to me. Like they had that really Twin Peaksy 90s vibe.
Yeah, with that like
but it was like a rip-off version.
Yeah, like the knockoff versions of things. Yeah, like you think it's going to be Jurassic Park for a minute, and all of a sudden it just goes, oh, well, they didn't really get it right now, did they?
Exactly.
Like, it's that kind of a variation.
And
it's not like a clever one.
Constantly throughout the movie.
Everywhere, inappropriately.
I was just going to say that.
We're out of ideas here. Let's stick the theme in.
And they were trying so hard. Like, it could have been... They clearly had a really shitty, weird budget because a lot of the
strange
effects were like... painted background. Like, oh my god, it was insane.
Well, guess what?
I saw a few of those.
I have both of the musics pulled up.
Oh, okay.
So we can side by side this and actually figure out what the similarities are. So we're just going to play a snippet of both. It's probably going to get us kicked off of YouTube when it goes to YouTube, but fuck them, I don't really care. We're not making money off this shit anyway, so.
Rude.
We don't make money on YouTube. Yeah. So, okay, I hit the wrong thing. So here's the main theme to Jurassic Park.
Yeah, classic. We know. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to,
set the mood.
Totally, I want the strings to come in and guide us, and just give it to us.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's
correct.
It.
That's
just
the
repeats
thing.
over and over.
Yeah,
So we're here and we're there. We've done it. So now here's the Fantastic Four theme.
This is the one that sounded like Star Wars.
It's that double hit, man.
Yeah.
This is not it, actually.
No, that's the one that sounded like Star Wars.
Yeah, but that little bit, there's a little chord
there.
progression in there with that like little double hit bum bum, and then it's like.
Okay, they have the full soundtrack.
Jesus. Yeah, this movie was ridiculous, but honestly, I liked watching it. It had some really stupid subplots that didn't need to be there. Like, if this was made in 2018, none of the subplots would have even existed. It would have been convoluted and whatever, but all of these stupid little subplots existed, but it all worked.
We need to talk about another movie that had a lot of subplots. Which was the movie we just watched today.
Sorry, I was trying to find that music.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. What movie?
Empire Records.
Oh, yeah. That movie we did watch that today.
We wanted to see if it aged well.
Yeah, and I'm sad to report that I don't think that it really did. It was precious in its 90s niche thing, but I think that it seemed a little dated.
The PG-13 rated Empire Records, released in 1995. Came out October 20th in 95.
Yeah, that was middle school for me, and that was, I don't know. I remember that movie being one that all of my friends liked that I didn't. Like in the same way that like when I was in elementary school, my friends like New Kids on the Block, and I didn't like that. Like I would make fun of them for it, you know. I don't know. Empire Records, I was always on the fence about it, and I think as an adult, I'm seeing why. I just kind of saw through it when I was a kid because the girls are just. What is that?
Awful. They're kind of bitchy and yeah. It was a Hollywood take on that for sure.
Yeah, and it was like the main dude. You're stealing all this money, and like nothing happens to him.
Right, because it all worked out well in the end.
But nothing was gonna happen to him. That was the whole like.
Right.
Like and then he's just like.
And he knew nothing was going to happen to him, and he knew something but good was going to come of it, and that's why he did it. That was like the whole thing at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the kid and the freaking out.
Still.
Trying not to spoil it.
Yeah. One thing I do like about Empire Records is Rex Manning. He was played by the same guy who was Michael in Grease 2, and you know I'm all about Grease 2.
Yeah, you are about Grease 2.
Maxwell Caulfield.
Yeah, he was so handsome.
Yeah, the soundtrack was pretty good too.
Yeah, they had some good songs on that soundtrack.
They were well curated.
And an awesome reference to the Misfits at the end of the movie in the after credits.
Oh shit, yeah.
I dug that.
I don't know why I never remembered that.
Yeah, that was one of those little I forgot until I remembered.
Great bass line, solid chords. I mean, even if it is 3 notes.
Yeah.
There's only 3 of them, but that was a good Misfits reference.
Yeah, I liked that character, that he was not a main character in the movie, but the guy that was rambling about the Misfits.
Yeah, the guy with the pizza shirt on.
Yeah. Just there for the music, man.
Yeah.
This episode's definitely titled Pizza Shrapnel. So Renee Zellweger's in this movie.
Yeah.
As is Liv Tyler.
They're both pretty awful.
Yeah, all the women in the movie bug.
Yeah.
They all bugged, especially the chick who shaves her head in the bathroom before workday starts and then that brags about cutting her wrists.
Yeah, that was...
What's her name? Robin Tierney or something?
I don't know. That girl was out there, though.
Yeah, that girl is always out there.
What does it mean when it says Renee Zellweger played Gina as Renee Zellweger? Was she just herself in the movie? Is that the whole point? Because another person, Ethan Embry, Mark as Ethan Randall, Brendan Sexton III, Warren as Brendan Sexton. Oh, that's how they're billed.
Okay.
My bad. Sorry, guys. I don't know IMDb like that, so.
That's okay. You're forgiven. I'll allow it.
Moving on there from the.
Yeah, that movie didn't age well.
But yeah, it was about like too many subplots. There was too many things going on that were unimportant in that movie. I don't know.
There was another movie that you watched that you wanted us to watch that we didn't have time to watch yet. That we were going to watch.
That was a lot of watches.
I know.
That was great.
Oh.
I loved it. I was like, do it again. Okay, good.
Just kept going.
Yeah, I watched The Devil's Advocate, which was really... I can't say much about it because Veronica has not seen this movie, which I was very surprised that she's not seen this movie. Al Pacino is the devil. I mean, come on. Nate has seen this movie.
Yeah, all-star cast. Keanu, Charlize Theron, Craig T. Nelson. I'm trying to think.
Didn't you say... Oh, no. That's a different movie.
There's another person in here, Jeffrey Jones, but I don't really want to shout him out so much. The dude from Beetlejuice, the dad.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I always remember him as the emperor from Amadeus.
Yeah.
It's too many notes.
Let's talk about it. Devil's Advocate.
Well, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil
We can
the
talk
movie.
about it after I actually watch it.
Okay,
I was
we
going
can
to
hype
say,
it. We'll talk about
yes,
it.
but I will say this one thing, and that is Keanu'd that movie to death. Let me just say that because the plot was pretty good. It was a good movie, and I enjoyed it.
97, this has got to be like...
It has the most messed up sex scene in a movie. It's got one of the most messed up ones. It's just, it's a good one to watch. But
Yeah,
get ready
I'm looking
for
forward to
Keanu.
watching it. I like 90s Keanu. I mean, I like late 80s and early 90s Keanu, and then I feel like as he got older, his acting got really weird. Like
Like
do
he
you
tried to
remember him
not
in
be
Dracula? Do you remember Bram Stoker's
I haven't
Dracula?
seen that in a long time.
It's on Netflix. I keep seeing it, and
I
I'm
keep
always
seeing it.
tempted.
Me too.
Because
And
I
I'm
love
like,
Gary Oldman.
I know. I keep getting tempted. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Well, it's got Keanu in it and Winona Ryder, so it's like 1994 or something like that. I don't know.
I definitely need to watch that again.
It was really bad, though.
Well,
like,
yeah,
the
that's why
acting
I
is
wanna
so
watch it again.
fucking terrible. We gotta
Oh.
watch it. I just recently started watching a movie that stars Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, and it just was released like this year, I think. And
We tried to watch it.
Yeah, and it was about like these people going to a destination wedding, and they are awful people, so they're seated next to
narcissists.
each other. And I wanted to like it. I wanted to give it a try, but I just couldn't. And we ended up turning it off.
Yeah,
I was kind of bummed.
I will say about The Devil's Advocate, there's one scene that is going to probably upset you. It's the I don't want to say anything about it.
Oh, damn.
Well, you could kind of spoiler it.
It's just like a horror movie thing, but like this lady, and she starts to go crazy, like because of where they're living, because of all these demons and stuff. But like, when she sees the kid, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a
pretty,
fucked up movie. It really
I have a hard
is.
time watching shit like that.
But nothing bad happens to the kid. It's just like messed up.
Okay.
It's just messed up. It's just like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a horror movie. I mean, it's a horror thriller movie.
We're talking about Keanu. I got to interject with some breaking news.
Oh.
Alex Winter, who plays Bill S. Preston Esquire, in the Bill and Ted movie, says the long-rumored third film is in pre-production and eyeing a 2019 shoot.
Sweet.
Saying, well, we're in pre-prep and are set to shoot in early 2019. So now all systems are a go. My old line when Blockbuster was in business was that I'd never believe a film was a go until the video was at Blockbuster. But I don't know what to say anymore. Netflix? So it looks like we're getting this. It looks like we are getting this.
Excellent.
Radical.
All right, cool.
Cool, guys.
Wild
Sweet.
Stallions. Wild Stallions.
Wild Stallions. Ollie really likes Bill and Ted.
He would.
The second one's a little weird.
I didn't like watching the second
Like
one.
rewatching it, I'm like,
We turned it
oh.
off.
It had a creeper vibe to it.
It really
was-
did. That one didn't age well. That's
No,
another one that
that
didn't
was
age
like-
well, guys.
Yeah, it was like the 80s,
Bogus
90s
Journey was
thing.
bogus,
Swing and a
man.
miss. You know, almost
Yeah.
all these movies
There was a Misfits
actually,
poster.
actually, all these movies we're talking about so far today are in the 90s, and all of them could be included in our 1990s Ultimate Movie bracket.
Ew.
I don't know if some of these deserve to make the Ultimate Movie bracket, but some of them are good.
I don't know.
I know one that you're going to want to volley to get up on there.
Oh.
You've been watching it as a night-night film.
So, I have been watching The Birdcage every night before I go, like, as I fall asleep. Yeah, out of the park. Yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a good one.
I haven't memorized at this point.
It is
I've actually
great.
seen the stage version, La Cage.
Oh,
Agador
Spartacus.
It was really fun, and George Hamilton was Armand.
Oh, no.
And he was so
Really?
orange, and he bumped into me and my Aunt Melissa outside, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, ladies," and Melissa's like, "Oh my God, that guy was so orange. That's George Hamilton. We're going to see him later." I was like, "Oh,
He is
sweet."
so orange.
He was super nice. He wasn't very good in the performance, though. Like, he was having a hard time. He just looked happy to be there, so we're all like,
Oh.
all right, sweet. So it was a great time. We loved it. But yes, I do love this movie, The Birdcage. It's one of my favorite Robin Williams movies and one of his best performances.
God, he's so good in it.
March 8th, 1996.
It's a great movie. It's on Hulu now, so check it out, everybody. Maybe try it out as your night-night movie, because I have been, and it's very nice.
He plays Armand Goldman. This cast also included Gene Hackman.
Yeah, it's like an all-star cast. So many funny fucking people, and Nathan Lang.
Oh, yeah. Calista Flockhart, Hank Azaria.
I love Hank Azaria in this movie. It's
Agador
Agador Spartacus.
Agador Spartacus.
I don't wear shoes. They make me fall down. I never wear shoes, sir. They make me fall down.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's got a very dated subplot. You would think that this would be a movie that wouldn't age well because of the issues that it's tackling. It's about a gay couple who are forced to pretend to be like a married couple, and one of the men is in drag, and they're trying to they're just trying to meet the family of their son's fiance for the first time, and they're all conservative.
And they also happen to be political figures. They're not.
And he's in the middle of a scandal, running for like re-election, and he's a senator, and they're like conservative, and he's the leader of the Coalition of Moral Order, and his co-founder died in the bed of an underage black prostitute. And, like it's ridiculous. It's such an interesting movie and so funny and so sweet all at the same time. But it could be dated, but I think that holds up. I think it holds up.
Yeah. Well, I think that. Well, first of all, Robin Williams' character is so good and so like, I mean, when you're thinking about I don't want to say like tastefully portrayed, but like the way that he acted that character, you know, that's what ages well about it, I guess. Maybe like the actual story.
It was super real.
Yeah, and there's still people like that out there, you know. I mean, it was partially, what is it? His son is like ashamed of him or something. Like he kind of acts ashamed of him and then like ends up coming around.
He doesn't act ashamed of him. It's just he doesn't want to fuck up his relationship with Barbara because of how shitty these people are.
It's
like
important
he accepts
to him.
his family and loves them and proves it at the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. It kind of comes around at the end.
Yeah, he comes around at the end, and it's a great movie, and it ends really great. I love the ending. The ending is great.
It is.
Gene Hackman's so funny in it.
Yeah, but 2018, that couple would not feel like they should be forced to cater to the whims of some gross people.
And even in the movie, he didn't.
Happens.
He was like, fuck the senator. It took me a long time to get to where I am, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't care what he thinks. But he didn't want to have his son hurting, and he wanted to just protect his son from these awful people and just, you know, do that for him, which is, I don't think was the right thing to do, you know, in this day and age, obviously. But back then, that's what they did.
Yep.
And it was a great movie. It worked. It was so great.
It definitely is timeless in its own right, for
it's
sure.
It's an important movie, I think.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, it was. It is an important movie because it was kind of bringing, you know, gay marriage to the spotlight.
Yeah, nobody was like
in the 90s.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about that. Well, at least, I mean, I was like, how old was I when that came out? When did that movie come out?
1996.
Yeah, so
March 8th.
Fairly young, but like I don't remember people in my conservative circles when I was in middle school because I was a church kid, right? Like my mom watched that movie all the time. She loves that movie.
Yeah,
you know?
Everybody loves that movie.
She loved that movie, but like it brought those types of issues into those kinds of households in that time. You know, when there wasn't the internet, everybody wasn't talking about that all the time. You know, like that was one of the first gay things, very gay things that I saw. You know, in my life.
That and To Wong Foo.
And To Wong Foo, I loved To Wong Foo.
I loved To Wong Foo.
Oh, loved that.
That was a great drag queen movie.
Yeah.
We
rented that all the time when we were kids. I just didn't even think twice about it.
I did
too.
I got in trouble from my stepdad for renting it like when I was young, and he made us return it, and then like my mom let me rent it again. Yeah, you know, because it wasn't a big deal,
right?
Because whatever. It's Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo in drag. It was great.
I like John Leguizamo.
Keeping with the Robin Williams theme, I do want you to watch another movie. So we got a couple movies on our homework list now. Devil's Advocate. Also going to add one to the list. Cadillac Man. It has to happen imminently.
We've been having a hard time tracking this movie down. It's not like on any streaming services. We can't find it in any like disc replay things or whatever.
It's fucking impossible to find it. It's so good too. It's like I really want to just chill out and watch it with you. Here's the synopsis. Joe's a car salesman with a problem. He has 2 days to sell 12 cars or he loses his job. That would be a difficult task at the best of times, but Joe has to contend with his girlfriend. He's two-timing. A missing teenage daughter and an ex-wife. What more could go
Damn.
wrong? A lot. Enter a crazy, jealous husband with a machine gun.
Jesus.
Sounds intense.
Is this a comedy?
Yeah.
It's like a black comedy?
Yeah.
Like a dark comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
It's interesting.
What year did this movie come out?
1990 on the button.
Ooh, and it's Robin Williams?
Uh-huh.
I'm sold.
All right.
Can't wait.
You got Tim Robbins, Pamela Reed, the chick from Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, yeah, she was in Jericho, right?
Yeah, Fran Drescher.
Oh, I love Fran Drescher. This movie's getting better and better, more and more appealing to me.
And it actually does not. I misspoke. I thought it had Susan Sarandon.
Oh.
I thought she was in this movie, though. Weird. Maybe that's Pamela Reed's character.
I loved Fran Drescher. She was in that awful movie, The Beautician and the Beast.
Okay.
And I fucking loved that movie. It was so good. It was like another It's So Bad It's
What
Good.
was her TV show?
The Nanny.
The Nanny. I remember that show.
Yeah. I loved her. My favorite role she was in was This Is Spinal Tap. She was that like publicity agent. She was super disco looking.
Yeah.
80s disco.
All right, let's break this down and talk about the final movie we're going to talk about today. The biggest movie we're going to talk about today. The movie we're going to spend the most time on talking about today. Let's talk about a classic 2010 Scott Pilgrim versus the World. What up?
It's a good one.
It's an amazing movie. It's one of my all-time favorites.
It's a great movie, and that's another movie that has an excellent soundtrack.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Who wrote all the songs for Scott Pilgrim? Was it Beck or somebody?
No, there are tons
I
of
don't
different
know.
people on that soundtrack.
Well, who wrote the original songs for Sex Bomb?
The score. Okay, hold on. Let me.
For Sex Bomb, I don't know. Man,
We're looking it up. We are Sex Bomb. 1, 2, 3, 4.
when you're in a band, that movie is funnier.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
really
like,
fucking funny.
There's always a young Neil.
Music by
Yeah,
and there's
Nigel
always, like-
Godrich. Anticlimactic. No one knows who he is.
Mhm.
Weird. What am I thinking of? I'll have to think about that.
I don't know, but yeah, the music was pretty well put together. It was a part of that movie, a big part. Like
The music was
played
good.
yeah, it went along with the whole aesthetic, and it was good. And
Brie
they
Larson.
had Zelda quotes in it, so yeah.
Anna Kendrick, Aubrey Plaza, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Michael Cera.
Macaulay Culkin's brother, right?
Yeah, Kieran.
Kieran. Yeah.
Kieran, right? I think.
His character's so funny.
Wallace.
Wallace.
Ellen Wong, who plays Knives Chow.
This movie's adorable. If you guys, I don't know who hasn't seen Scott Pilgrim at this point, but
It would
if
be
you
hard
haven't,
pressed to find somebody.
I would
think.
say go watch this movie. It's excellent.
Yeah.
Chris
or
Evans.
watch it again if you've already seen it.
Brandon Routh.
Oh yeah, there's like the whole Marvel connection now.
Huge Marvel
superhero connections.
It's like a superhero connection. You've got Brandon Routh, who played both Superman and the Atom.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Chris Evans, who played the Human Torch and Captain America. And now you've got Brie Larson, who's going to be your Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. This movie's got it all. I really do love this movie. I think I said this to you guys yesterday. There's only one of the characters who I really didn't get super down with their storyline or their like musical choices.
The first one,
Matthew
right?
Patel.
The first evil
It's a little bit weird.
So Scott has to beat all of his all of Ramona's evil exes in order to date her.
Yeah.
This is like the point of this ridiculous movie.
And I love that he keeps saying evil ex-boyfriends, and she keeps correcting him, exes.
Because my favorite evil ex was the little girl.
Roxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You punched me in the boob. Prepare to die, obviously.
Obviously.
Like, she's the best.
That's so funny.
Across the board, though, it has a little bit of everything because you get, an action movie, you get this really artsy movie. It's really cool,
Video game movie.
video game-esque thing. You've got a music
It's kinda
movie.
hipstery.
It is kind of hipstery. It toes the line, a little bit there. It was cool before it was cool, It's
It was
definitely
a great movie. I remember when that movie came out,
Yep.
loving that movie. Thank you, Michael Cera was so fucking funny in it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys say what the fuck is his name? Jason Bateman. Did you say his name?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Or Jason Schwartzman, not Bateman.
Jason Schwartzman. I have a love-hate relationship with this actor. Rushmore, man.
Rushmore.
He was such a little twat in that.
Ooh, that was a... But I mean, Bill Murray also.
I know, this is a great
that
movie.
Was a good one.
It's one of the best Wes Anderson movies, I think.
I need to watch that again.
I'd watch it again with you.
I love that movie.
Yeah, but he's like... I don't know. He's been in so many weird movies. Like, he was in Marie Antoinette as, like, the king of France. And it's just Jason Schwartzman being himself. It was so weird.
It is weird. I found another person in the cast list that's shocking. I did not know this person was in this movie. Bill Hader.
Bill Hader was in that movie?
Really? Where was he at?
Scott earned the power of love. He's the voice.
Sweet. Oh, that's a funny Easter egg. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's really great. I just saw that just now, and I thought that was
love
amazing.
Bill Hader.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He's so fucking spooky and funny.
Yeah.
I miss him on SNL.
Word. There's nothing but good to be said about this movie. Directed by Edgar Wright, written by Edgar Wright, and of course, it's based on Brian Lee O'Malley's graphic novels through Oni Press. It, like I said, it has it all. I love the Dance Dance Revolution thing too. That they have the DDR dancing thing and Nega Scott and all that shit. Like, it's a very cleverly done movie that pays a great homage to the graphic novels. If you went back and looked at any of those graphic novels, they're pretty close to that story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a great movie. I loved it.
What would you rate it out of 5 pizza slices?
I'd say it's like 4.7 pizza slices.
Ooh, up there. Sarah, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with her on that one. Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Same, 4.75. I'll give it the 0.5 extra, which is pepperoni, because fuck it.
We just can't give it 5 stars, guys.
Well, no, because 5 stars is something like Get Out, which is just a brain melter, you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
I love that movie. We're going to get a sequel to that movie, too, actually.
That's weird.
My 5 stars would be reserved for, like, maybe Memento. Or like,
Memento was fucked up.
Oh, that was so good, though. It was so good.
It was a sad movie.
All right, so let's real quick before we get out of here. Oh, Memento. Yes.
That was
Memento. Bring it down.
Let's
is
talk. The better of the Guy Pearce movies we've seen.
Oh,
such
man.
as The Time Machine. Remember that piece of hot trash?
I don't think I even made it through that.
That movie did not age well, everybody. The Time Machine was...
Did I try to watch that?
Yeah, we did. We watched like half of it, and we turned it off after he went to the future because it was so awful.
Oh,
and like Samantha Mumba, oh my god, this is terrible.
Yeah. Oh,
so we turned it off.
bad.
I remember loving it when I was younger. But anyway, we were talking about Memento, his better movie.
God, that one was brilliant. I remember when that came out, and it just blew my mind. And I remember making Nate watch it. He's like, I've never seen that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was a crazy movie.
Yeah, and like that's one of those ones that the more times you rewatch it, the more satisfied you are with that movie because oh god, I love movies like that where you can just actually get something out of it when you're rewatching it.
Brilliantly unravels.
Yeah, that was, I mean, messed up, yes, but
Guy Pearce playing Leonard.
So unique.
Leonard's suffered a trauma that has him not able to remember the short term, but he remembers the long term, and he remembers his last memory, which is the death and the brutal murder of his wife, and trying to figure out who done it. And the only way he can remember is to tattoo himself. That's awesome.
Clues.
With clues.
I just remember that movie when I got to when like you finally get the reveal at the end and you figure it out. Just like wanting to stand up in my seat going, again, you know, like, okay, this is good. Like just feeling like I want to immediately rewatch the damn thing.
And that's crazy because rewatching it is almost just like...
it's a new movie entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it changes your perception.
Yeah, I can't think of very many movies. I can't think of very many. The
only example I can think of that made me feel like that was the Twin Peaks after we watched Firewalk with Me.
Oh, after we watched Firewalk with Me, yeah, it was just like, oh, everything's new.
Yeah, it was like, oh my god, it's a brand new world.
Yeah.
It's a brand new Twin Peaks world. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I want to watch it again, but I don't because it was very unsettling. Very unsettling.
Oh, man. I'm just thinking about Memento again. Sorry, I just kind of got lost in it.
I know, and I said unsettling, and I remembered that I watched Hellraiser, and I was like, oh.
Whoa, you watched Hellraiser?
I watched it on Halloweener. I didn't mean to say Halloweener. I was going to say or something after that, and then I cut
Or like the
myself
day
short.
after, probably.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
something
somewhere around
like
there.
that.
Somewhere
Yeah,
around
I
Halloween
watched
time.
it around Halloween time.
That's
Yeah,
excellent.
that movie's gross. It's like
It's so
softcore porn for like
so
goth
gross.
people.
It's like laughably gross. to me.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I watched Hellraiser 2 last year, I think it was, and I was just like, oh, this movie is gross.
Yeah.
Like they were trying really hard.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it is super gross.
Not
though.
a fan. Not a fan of the Hellraiser series.
Yeah,
Not
the
at all.
sound effects are super gross too. The whole thing.
It's
just
real gross.
disgusting.
It's really gross.
Disgusting. It's like
It's like, who is this for?
constant. I don't know.
People that like to push the edge because Clive Barker's a fucking weirdo.
Okay.
Clive, yeah, he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
clearly.
Yeah, you watched
Yeah, he does
Hellraiser,
some weird
he's
shit.
a fucking weirdo. Man, are there any other psychological thrillers, thinking about Memento, are there any other psychological thrillers that you guys have gotten down on?
Psychological thrillers? I don't
Yeah.
know. This is like a test question.
I know, I'd have to think about that
Ooh.
because there's so many good movies out there that are psychological thrillers, you know.
Psychological thriller.
One that comes to mind is like Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
I have a list in front of me of what somebody considers the best. Do you want me to list them off?
I mean, American Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a psychological
good
thriller,
one.
right? Because that's one of the best movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie.
Whoa.
Would Fight Club count?
Fight Club is on there.
Yeah, it's
Man,
not like a
Fight
thriller,
Club.
though.
Kind of.
It's a psychological mind
It's pretty
bend.
intense.
Yeah, but
Ooh, that's another one where the reveal made me super happy.
yeah,
I mean,
that was
'cause
so satisfying.
I remember when that came out too, and nobody,
when-
it didn't get ruined for me. I was just like, ah.
I'm gonna.
What?
I'll throw a
Yeah.
psychological thriller right in your guys' face. It's your guys' movie, and you're gonna be, oh fuck, The Shining.
Yeah.
The Shining.
That's a good one.
Is that a psycho? I guess it's a psychological
I
thriller.
consider that
It's
a
psychological
ghost
horror.
movie. Yeah, it's like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a horror movie.
I don't consider that a psychological thriller.
but it is pretty psychological.
I think of like psychological thrillers as like Seven.
On this
yeah.
list.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Seven's on this list.
I
Definitely.
don't want to rewatch that one.
What's in the box?
Oh, yeah.
Gluttony. That's the one that always gets me. That fat
the
guy.
gluttony
that's just,
was
like,
horrible. That was one of the most awful things.
I think the what was it? The Vanity one was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
God, they were all bad. That was a horrible movie, but it was good. But it was horrible.
The first Saw is a good psychological thriller.
Yeah.
You keep talking about that movie.
Do you not remember it like I do or something? Do we need to rewatch this movie?
I don't need to rewatch that movie.
It's 14 years old at this point. It's almost 15 years old
I've
since
seen
the first
this
Saw.
movie. I just didn't think it was that great.
I thought the first one was good.
It was
but-
really scary.
It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
it was. Yeah, it was pretty intense. You probably didn't like it because it was the guy. What's his face from?
It was
Princess
Wesley
Bride.
from Princess
Yeah, that's
Bride.
why you didn't like it. Because if it would have been a different actor,
You
you,
know
would have
me.
been like, "Oh yeah, fuck that guy." But
Yeah.
It was just Jonas Miller.
Yeah,
and
you
he's a
didn't like-
night crawler.
yeah, you didn't like that he was all chained up and had to do terrible things.
Stole my designs, you son of a bitch.
As you wish.
Yeah,
Now, that's a
Saw
good
was messed
movie.
up.
Why are we talking about psychological thrillers?
I don't know, because we were talking about Memento. I just asked because I was curious.
off on a
Curiosity
tangent
killing the
city.
cat here. Real quick, I want to drop on you guys here some box office numbers for you. The Grinch brought in $66 million over this past weekend. Bohemian Rhapsody coming in at second. I do want to see that, although there has been some controversy. I want to pull that up before we rock out of here. Bohemian Rhapsody brings $30,850,000 in, and then Overlord brought in $10,000,000. Bohemian Rhapsody getting a lot of praise, but it's actually also getting a lot of backlash because they changed the story.
That's what I heard. Too.
Fundamentally changed the story. They made it to where,
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it yet, and I really wanted
I
to.
haven't seen it either.
well, apparently, here are two important timeline things to note. One, they move when Freddie Mercury's AIDS reveal happened, and this the reveal happens right before Live Aid, which is not true. That did not happen. It did not come until 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And also, in the movie, there's a quote-unquote drama that's been created between the drummer and Freddie Mercury, which did not happen. And the drama is because Freddie wants to go make a solo album, when in fact, the drummer was the first member of Queen to do a solo album and actually did 3 solo albums before Freddie Mercury did his first. So it's total hypocrisy and bullshit, and it just paints him in a dark light.
For the drama effect.
Yeah.
They didn't need to create drama. There was enough of that on its own.
Exactly.
Freddie Mercury, come on.
Yeah, Queen drama.
Queen.
But it still is not perfect. Nothing is perfect.
Well, nothing's perfect. But I guess I'll be the judge of it once I see it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, you guys good? Let's get out of here. Before we get out of here, as always, you guys can check out Foodies Watching Movies at JourneyIntoComics.com on the Journey Into Comics Network, where you can get all the different shows, whether it's Journey Into Comics, Poor Report, Poor Entertainment. Oh, Poor Report. Shit, I said the wrong one. Poor News, Poor Entertainment.
I'm blowing it.
Foodies Watching Movies, Adulting Ain't Easy, Podcastrophe, GallifRadio, Kits for Sale, Brews with Dudes, Best of the Week on Sundays, Journey Into Wrestling. Got new shows coming in 2019, a bunch of stuff down the pipe. I'm super excited. You guys can check us out on the Patreon at patreon.com/journeyintocomics. And as always, give us $1 for the early access or exclusive content. It all comes together. So you get it early, you get to hear it early, you get it before anybody else. It's exciting. We love it. All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for this week of Foodies Watching Movies. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you.
4 weeks in a row.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Just filling a seat.
Well, you do great. We appreciate it. We miss you, AP. We wish you would be back on the next episode. We'll hopefully see you then. All right, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here for this week's episode of Foodies Watching Movies, Season 3, Episode 4, Pizza Shrapnel. I have been Nate.
Veronica.
Sarah.
And as always, folks, eat fearless. Later.